Okay, so what we're going to do now is learn two more kind of commands to modify three-dimensional objects. The first one is called Thicken, which at this point we've drawn our vase, but our vase isn't really a solid object. It's just this, what they call a surface in CAD, so it actually doesn't have any thickness. So when we create something out of glass, it's only passing through the surface that's sort of infinitely thin. So what we want to do is actually add some thickness to objects. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw some glasses that we'll put excuse me, on our table. So I'm in my front view here, and I'm just in my regular two-dimensional space. I'm just going to hit plan twice just to make sure that I'm looking at the right area. And let me enlarge my screen here. So just like we did with our vase, I'm going to start just by drawing a line here that's going to be our axis point. And I'm going to use my ortho here to make sure that it goes straight up. And I'm going to make it about maybe 2/3 as tall as my vase. So here's my axis line. I'll put that in a different layer so you can see it a little bit better. And then now to draw my glass, I'm going to use our spline tool again. I like that because it gives me nice curves. And I'll tell you what, this I'll draw in my dimension layer here so it's in blue. So I'm going to start with the base of my glass, turning off ortho. And I'm also going to make sure I don't have any snaps on. There we go. So I'll go from here to here, then the stem will go up a little bit, then out to about here, and right about there. That looks good. So I'll zoom in a little bit. So I have my axis line here, and then here is my glass, which I will revolve around my axis line. I'm going to move this a little bit closer to my glass. So remember that our spline for our glass cannot go on the other side of our axis point. We've got to make sure that it's all on one side. And I'll run revolve, REV for revolve. And now I will turn on my object snap just so I can snap to 2 points on my line. And then I can see here this says 360, so when I hit enter, it's automatically going to go revolve 360 degrees all the way around. And I can confirm that by going to, I'll go to a shaded view here. And there's my cup. And if I look at my cup this way, I can see that the edge of my cup, so I'm looking right here, is really, really thin. It's because this entire cup here is just a surface. So what I'm going to do is add some thickness to my cup. And we do that by running the Thicken command. So that's our command for today. And there's a shortcut for it, which is just TH. Oh, I take it back. TH is thickness. Thicken, I guess you got to type the whole thing. So Thicken is the command. And I had my object selected prior to typing the command, so I can see it says one object found, so it's already selected my glass for me. And now it's asking me how thick do I want my glass to be. So I'm gonna go kind of extreme just to demonstrate this. So I'm gonna go 1/2 inch, which would be really, really thick for a glass. But I want you to really be able to see the thickness to it. So we can see now I have a really thick edge here on my glass. So now my glass is officially a solid object. So you probably maybe want to do half that, 1/4 of an inch, maybe even 1/8 of an inch for a nice crystal. Then one other thing I want to do to make my glass more realistic is I want to round this edge. So when we wanted to round edges in 2D, what was the command? Fillet, good. So in 3D, there's a perfect command for this called Filletedge, and it'll automatically fillet the edge of something. So I'm going to type in Filletedge. And then just like with our fillet command, the next step we want to do is specify a radius. Now, I know that my thickness is 1/2 inch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide that in half and make it a 1/4 inch radius. That way I can go all the way around. So I'm just going to do 0.25 to set as my radius. And now I just need to select the edges that I want to fillet. So I'm going to do this outer edge first. So that's now selected. And then I'm also going to do the inner edge. So that's now selected. And then I'm going to do the edge on the bottom of my glass also down here. So we have the rim of the glass as well as the base of the glass. And I'm now done. So I hit enter once. And it's going to show me kind of a preview. And I see I have these nice rounded corners everywhere, so that looks really cool. And it's our preview. If we like it, we hit enter to accept. So I'll hit enter, and it's now done. If I zoom in a little closer here, you can see I've got this really cool rounded edge on my glass. So now I'm going to place my glass on my table. So I'll start by just moving this. Let's see how this looks here. Missing a thing here. All right. So I've got my glass, and I'm just going to put that on my table there. I've got a couple scaffolding things I'm going to delete because we don't need those anymore. Got some old lines over here. We'll delete those, so clean house a little bit. And then just to step through all of our rendering settings one last time here, I'm going to right-click on my view cube, change this to perspective. Then I'm going to do sun status, set that to 1. And then sun status 1. Lighting units set to 1. Sky status I'm setting to 2. And let's see, turning on my shadows. And then I'll go to materials. And let's see, how about I'll just go a frosted material here. So I'm going to just drag and drop that right on my glass. And then I'm going to copy my glass and place a few of these on my table. I'm going to go to a top view, make this a little easier for me. Turn off my snapping here. So I'm just going to add a few of these glasses on my table here, kind of randomly. I'll delete that one, delete this one. So I'm gonna kind of set up my shot a little bit, zoom in really close. I don't think my glasses are on my table. Oh, look at that. So just rendering these. Okay, let's turn all this stuff back on here. All right. It says I'm getting kind of close, but I think that'll be kind of cool. So I'm just going to do a quick draft render just to see how this looks. So changing this to draft. And some of you had issues with this not showing up properly. So if you click on this icon here, it should bring up this window, and you should be able to change your settings here. So I want to do a draft first. All right, that looks pretty cool. So I like how I'm going to pan up a little. Well, that's good. I like that. So now I'll do one more, but this time I'm just going to go to medium. And everything else looks good here. I will check my sun properties. And again, just checking that my samples is set to 128 and softness set to 10. That gives you nice soft shadows. All right, so I'll hit my little teapot here, and this will render a higher resolution this time. And I'll fast forward the video. All right. So you did the thicken, that's good, and then you want to do the fillet edge. And then how thick did you go when you thickened it? Half inch? Okay, so you want to set your radius here. And then change that to a quarter inch. And then now you'll click on the three edges that we did. So outer edge, inner edge, and then we do this base. And you hit it once, and it previews, and then you hit it once again, and it'll save it. There you go.
Can you copy it?
Did you do the thicken?
I don't have the cross.
What do you do with it?
Yeah.
So you click on your cup, and then type thicken.
Chicken?
Thicken.
Oh.
Thicken, not thickness. Thicken. And then you
So if you do a press pull, then it should go through. It looks like you started with the wrong direction.
Oh, is it chicken? Plural or singular?
floor.
Thicken. Yeah, top one.
Oh, maybe like 4 cups holding the table.
And And then how thick do you want it to be? Do a half inch. Or do you look at it? You ready for your base or your glass? Alright. Do a half inch.
Half, huh?
Yeah. Quarter's good for you. There you go. So you can see now that the top edge, you can see it actually has some thickness to it.
Yeah, it's very like the curve, like fillet.
Fillet edge. It's the
Fillet.
edge of it that you want to fill. You need to.
And we just click on one, yeah?
Arriba.
What's that? Are you doing your glass or your base? Half inch is good for your base. To fillet edge, to round the edge, but I don't think that's what it is.
OMG looks so nice.
Rare.
Good, good.
Is that Mr. Brenner?
Mr. B, for fillet edge, we click on the edge of the object.
Yes, you do.
Do you like candy? Pero los dos, el de adentro y el de afuera. Sí, güey.
Hey, winner. Did you give up already? I did, because mine has pressed like 5 times already.
Thicken.
See?
And then, so select which one thicken, which is
No, wait.
and now you punch in how thick you want.
Es que se
I don't know. Well, maybe because the color is white, and then when you, I don't know what it is.
So now it's actually.
No sé. Presentation.
For fillet edge, so we
You
just
go
click
here.
on the edge and then we do.
You rounded the edge? Click on the edge. Your radius is a little high. So it's gonna escape there. So you want to do your fillet edge, just like when we did our regular fillet command, you need to specify the radius. And I usually do half, if you want
This is racist.
the top to be totally rounded, you'll do half of whatever you set.
That's right.
Ready?
¿Estás bien? Te van a dar Miguelito.
Like I would say.
See, I got good.
So type in, get fillet edge, and then here you hit R for radius. And then I think you want a quarter of an inch. So you probably want to do an eighth of an inch here. Yep, enter. And then now you'll select the inside edge, and then the outside edge also. There you go. And then
Ven,
bottom.
güey.
I
Worth
like
it.
the bottom
Worth it,
edge.
güey.
See this bottom edge right there for me. And hit enter. And then
Wow. Ese sí. Wow.
something I don't know. I would do the other. And you might have to draw some lines just to, I guess, scout the line.
What did you see?
Let me see.
Okay.
Mira.
So click on your object and type Thicken. And then do. There it is.
No, I know, bro.
Filletedge.
It's not like I'm a fucking telling you. It's because I give up like this thing crashed like 5 times already. Why did they well, that's live, not computers. Computers are supposed to be smart.
Yeah. No.
We make them smart. They know English.
What's that? Lighting units.
Should be that there, right?
There's no shadows. How about sun? How about sun? Turn off the top option there. Turn
Alright. Let me try one more time. Damn, yeah, there's something to do.
What do you tell?
Is it gonna take some time, Mr. B?
Okay, so first you click on the object you want to look at, glass, and then hit enter. And then now you want to say how thick you want it to be. So, glass, maybe a quarter of an inch.
Mira, ¿puedes venir por favor un poquito? Así, güey,
Yep.
así. Por favor, güey.
And now we can see now at the top there, you've got a little edge to it, so you can tell the object actually has a little bit more. And we rounded out the rim there by doing Filletedge.
Watch.
You want a 7 radius, so you hit R, get like that radius there. And then 1 inch would be way too big. So usually I do half what you did for Thicken. So you did a quarter inch for Thicken, so
Castillo Martino.
and then you click on the outer edge, inner edge. There you go. And if you enter once, and the preview is what it'll look like, and you enter again, it'll actually fly. So you have a nice the edge on top of your desk. Yeah, that's just the lecture.
No.
It's just the base.
You're old, baby. Dude, I can't do my exactly. The computer crashing me. Another
Chris.
Oh, I turned it in already. You know,
What's wrong with that picture?
I don't know. It's black.
Yeah.
How did you
Go through all the settings that we went through like 10 times together.
Está muy base.
No, it's
It is that one.
So right click on here. That needs to be perspective. Then you want to turn on your shadows.
Mr. Brennan, may I go to the restroom?
Try and render that. Can't wait for it.
Actually, I need to go. Just before I try to get. Aldo. Sí, güey. Ya,
Mr. Brenner? This first asking me to do one centimeter, but it says it's too long. 0.5.
Say that again?
Sun status, sky standing. The lady, I don't know, says to do a one, like fillet of one right here,
Alright.
but it's too small. Just saying.
Um,
0.5, right?
is that something that you've already, when you render it, you gotta zoom in here. So you're kind of far away here.
Wait, it says status, right?
Sun status, yeah, it should be set to 1. Turn off the default lighting, that's good. Yep. That should be set to 2. Lighting units, that should be set to either 1 or 2. Yeah, this is the lecture assignment. Nice platter. Pablo with his castles.
I finished.
It's good.
Why is the cup under the
You have to talk to the designer.
Is the castle is more like more like it?
So, the background is black, which means we did something like so all the settings that we did together.
We need to send it to you then?
Yep.
Oh, it's
Damn. How do you like
So open up your file, go through together.
because I started over again. That's it.
First, music, then material, and glass.
What was it called?
What are you trying to do? The lighting units?
Estaba pensando en lo que estaba hablando.
Hey, John, what is that supposed to be?
Either 1 or 2 is fine.
Huh? What?
You want to make sure that you're able to Make sure you're in perspective.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, here we're next to
And then,
Say it one more time.
if you go to visualize,
That.
on your sky status.
Easier.
So set that to the bottom option.
You know money? Oh, here's what
Get a little bit closer.
Eh? Where about beer at? Mira, pórtate bien, güey, pa' que se Luis Miguel.
That's better.
What material did you make your vase out of?
I have no idea.
Pick something different.
Mira,
Trainer?
¿cómo le hizo el canciller Pop, güey? Oye, güey, es mi amiguito. Ay, espérate. La vez pasada te estoy diciendo. ¿Tú qué, güey?
Yeah, that's fine.
Why the cups are under the table? I
That's
don't
good.
know how to do it on the table. This one is on the table, and the one I copy. Basically, like,
Turn off your
like the.
turn that off.
Now you're supposed to draw the close.
I have no idea. You're asking the wrong person.
Mr. Brenner, how come this thing happens here? Wow.
¿Cómo se llama la aplicación? Que salgo.
It's a spline. So I think your line, your axis, and your spline are not actually next to each other.
It's a line, or the.
He is doing like that.
See, like your splines are
Hey, Mr. Brenner, can you hire me?
How can people
You need the measurements?
I would hire you, but I'm not looking for anybody to watch YouTube videos.
But it has to do with.
Anything else?
Alright, so if you have finished and submitted both the assignment and the lecture, then go ahead and work on the competition. Does everyone see the competition on the website? So I'm expecting all of you to really put in a lot of time, which means anytime you aren't working on our regular work, I expect you to be working on the competition. We're at 300 points, which will be a large portion of your grade.
For the one that wins, not for the one that doesn't.
Everybody is required to do it and will receive 300 points
Oh, really?
or less.
I thought only the one that wins.
Let it finish, but it's looking good.
Wait, it's not even done yet?
No. It's still. These bars go all the way to the end.
We send, how do we send you the render?
So you just save it as a JPEG
Pero?
or a PNG and then upload it just as you would any other file.
Want me to turn this in like this?
Just do a quick render on it, or did you
I
already
was
render
looking
it?
at here.
Do we need to render it?
Yeah, just submit your render. Yeah, there you go. So go to File and Save.
I said when he called them on the plane, and then they were like, alright, so we're gonna set up you fucking me.
As
Because he
PNG
like,
or-
was his friend. Like,
PNG or JPEG.
and then they were like, no, we actually want to set up. In the car, in the limo.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm sorry. did it. Because it was like, Christopher.
Oh, okay.
The popsicle
The
stick.
extrude one?
With Christopher. Oh, it's right here.
Oh, yeah.
And then me and Al were like, miss him off. He's right there. Like, yeah,
But that one's pretty easy. You just draw any kind of two-dimensional shape, and you type extrude, and then you can make
You gotta make, even though she got bad, she like the shit we did, even though she got bad, she liked the shit we used to do. You gotta feel. Do it. Estamos hablando que la puta table de round up. Round up.
You're gonna select your rig. How you screwing around it. So what's the distance that's here?
Can you do all this? Oh, huh? No way. Too deep. Bro.
That's what's that one?
Is that
Lion?
you have that shit? You see that? Well, that takes you here.
It takes you here.
That's right. Yeah, that's just
Mr. Brenner, Mr. Brenner, for the competition, like, if you look like a plane, do we have to try like inside a sewer?
It's gotta be no, it's just gotta be a good render.
Oh, so just like the plane, like a picture plane.
Yeah, Mr. Brenner.
Okay, so set that as your radius.
Hey, what's the name?
125 feet. That's a big door. Okay, and then do, I think it's, you want this whole thing on it, so do that. Right. Go up a little bit. Yeah, okay. I think that's what you want.
Really?
Undo that. Where's your command line? Do Filletedge.
I wanna buy a magic mouse. I should have bought that instead of the TV. Oh, I bought us. Back? No, it's
Maybe make your radius smaller. So that just has to do with the material. Or, you know, render it.
Just render the old one.
Just because it shows up kind of weird there, you do a render.
Do the old one? This one?
Yeah.
With the wireless one? What was this? Base charging thing? No? What do you use, batteries?
Yeah.
Triple A?
It takes 2 trips.
For the lecture, can I just turn it?
I want your rendering. You could, but I'd rather have your rendering.
All again? But I sent that for the other one. There's two. The render rate, that's where I
As
sent
long as you got
that.
rounded edges, it'll work well.
And the Thicken.
So it's 300 points, Chris.
I know.
We're gonna do
I'm
it.
looking at this 300 points. No, it's gonna be hard. And you don't have a lecture on this side. There's like 4 lectures.
Really?
And then this one.
You didn't open
No. Which can? See from the rest.
this one?
Have fun with it.
Use this one?
I think it's yeah, we've had those two done. It's like 3 days worth of work. It's like, All right, so just to recap on my expectation for the April competition, which is 300 points. So I expect to see like a good hour or so worth of solid work in that.
What about 5 hours?
What? 5 hours would be even better.
Well, 10 hours.
CAD does keep track of how long you work on your files. But even more importantly than that, I just want to see good effort. Get some inspiration on the internet or whatever. You want to do a car or a boat or a chair, some object, computer, something cool. Just add a lot of detail, do a lot of renders, make it look really cool. I want to see some passive work, some stuff I can print out on the walls, impress people when they come in, see how smart you guys are. It's also something that, calling out, it's impressive on go to a job interview, maybe someone like stuff you can do.
I'm gonna make a
Delicioso.
Wait.